Albert Einstein once said, if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales, and if you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. This quote not only shows us the smartest man in the world, Albert Einstein's opinion on how to benefit yourself, but also how to benefit your children. And the key to that is fairy tales. While they may seem like risky books that talk about life and create fairy tale dreams, they actually are more than that. They're not only appropriate for children, but they help kids and adults grow by teaching them morals, uniting everybody as a culture, creating new ways of thinking, and helping people through different situations. Fairy tales enhance a child's ability to solve issues by expanding their imagination and what they think is possible. In Princess and the Frog, Tiana had to fight through society's expectation of an African American woman living in the heart of New Orleans by overcoming the difficulties and teaching kids that not wishing on stars, that's not the way to solve issues. She taught them that through hard work, your dreams can come true. Bruno Bettelheim is a psychoanalyst from Australia, and he said that characters in stories help us to connect to our own lives, dreams, anxieties, and consider what we do. It helps teach kids the skill of critical thinking by looking at these characters on screens and in books and thinking, if I was them, this is how I could overcome that issue. They look at the situations in their own life and are able to draw parallels and how they make friends at school and how these characters make friends in the movies and learn skills that'll help them continue through life. And by doing this, we are able to bring up a generation of people who are ready to think differently and have these skills at a younger age and are able to grow. Not only will it help them think differently, but it'll also help them to accept the differences within each other, culturally and socially. The American Library Association took the classic story of Cinderella and found that it's in thousands of different cultures. The Ojibwa people know the Cinderella as soot face. The Middle East has the golden sandal. We have the classic Cinderella. France has one. Everybody has this story about hard work and a pure heart, and it's taught to children. It teaches them never to give up. And this story helps them unite to their own ideas and look at those difficulties in their world and realize that there's no reason to give up, no matter their culture. Jack Zipes is a professor and writer for the magazine of the National Endowment for the Humanities, and actually found out that the Grimm brothers had the original goal in their books of uniting people and culture by teaching them about other cultures. While these stories often get a bad rep of being risky and not appropriate, their main purpose is to teach and unite people by bringing all these different culture stories into one place so we can read and learn about each other. By doing this, we're able to teach children about the differences in their world that's outside their own. They grow up in these four walls and that's all they know, but through these books, they're able to escape and learn about all these places. It creates new interests and cultures and topics. That's why 4-year-olds get excited when they see a clownfish or a blue tang, because they found Nemo and Dory and they create an interest for marine biology. That's why at the start of Beauty and the Beast, we all start singing French while we chant bonjour. And it creates this unity in a culture that you may have no experience with. Fairy tales are here to allow children to become culturally aware and provides for an educated and well-rounded generation to come that will be unprejudiced about these differences because they're used to them, and it'll welcome a new future. They also teach life lessons and morals to the readers, whether young or old, to help them face challenges in their real world. In Aladdin and Abu struggle, but they overcome the evils by realizing that what matters is their true value, not a label they've been assigned. The merchant at the beginning says it best when he says, "Do not be fooled by its commonplace appearance. Like so many things, it's not what's on the outside, but what's on the inside that counts." Things like this in movies have helped everybody realize that fairy tales really teach us a deeper meaning, whether they have happy endings or not. It helps children discover in a safe environment where they're able to escape through somebody else's life that no matter what challenges come, you're able to overcome them. In the movie Up, when Ellie passes on, we learn that adventure can be hard, even when things get tough, that we can push through. Ellie tells Carl in the movie, "Thanks for the adventure, now go have a new one. Continue to follow your dreams, no matter what sets you back." Rafiki from The Lion King, in one of the most famous quotes, says, "Oh yes, the past can hurt, but from the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it." And these children learn these life mottos and these skills, and it helps them continue to push through the difficulties they may face. By learning these life skills in movies and fairy tales, they're able to tackle the difficulties head on and have these basic skills. So while fairy tales can seem risky and unimportant and like they just create these fantasies for kids that are unrealistic, they really do much more. They allow people of all ages to learn and grow by teaching morals, cultural relations, the value of imagination, uniting them in a new way of thinking and creating a more diverse generation. If you want to raise a child who is imaginative, culturally aware, and understands morals and how to follow their own path, take Einstein's advice and trust the tradition of fairy tales. And he said, after a parent confronted them, wanting to know how to raise a scientist, she asked Einstein, and he said, "Fairy tales and more fairy tales."